Caught in the crossfire. Caught in the crossfire.
Hi, this is Mrs. Mel W37 and I'm here bringing you a tutorial on Lightworks. Now Lightworks is the video editing software that I use, and it's free, and I use that to edit all my videos. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to Lightworks, and this is the address. It's www.lwks.com. Go to their downloads, Lightworks for Windows, and it brings you to their download page. Download, if you have a 64-bit operating system, you're going to use 64-bit. If you have a 32-bit operating system, use this download, the 32-bit. After you've downloaded it, you're going to open it up, and of course you can create a playlist. This is create new project. You'll want to create a new project, and then you need to click the name of the project and enter the frame rate that you want. So we'll go here. So after you've opened up the software program, Lightworks, you're going to want to import a video. Now this button with the red arrow is the import button, and this weird little, like, I don't even know what this is called, whatever this is actually the editing. So this is what you put your video into. So let me just show you. It's kind of hard to explain, so let me just show you how I do it. So first of all, I import a video, and this is a video. These videos are just, this is just an example videos that I'm using. So let's take this video, and so you're going to want to click on it, and actually what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to select files to import. You want to go to your videos, you know, to your file that has your videos, and you want to click on the video that you want to edit. So I'm going to double click on that video because I want to import and edit this video right here that's highlighted. So what you're going to do is, if you click it again, it actually opens it up. But that's not what we want to do. Now if you want to just watch it, if you want to watch this video, you hit play down here, and then you can watch it. But that's not what we want to do. We want to edit it. So we're going to hit this little editing thing. It says create a new edit. Click on that. Gives you an edit, gives you a number. Of course, I must have I've done a lot of edits. So that's why it's number 64, because I've probably done 64 edits. And you can rename this. Let's rename this. We'll just rename it whatever. Let's see. We'll name it edit example. Okay, so edit example, we renamed it. Another thing you're going to want to do is, because these things can kind of fly around, you're just going to want to hit this little push pin, and it makes it so you can't move it, which helps a lot, because sometimes when you're doing stuff, the whole window will move on you and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. So let's put this into place then. Click the push pin there, and then we'll hit the push pin here. So what we're going to do now is, we don't have a video in this edit window at all. See, there's nothing down here, there's nothing up here in this window. So we're going to take this viewer, this file, see this little window? We're just clicking on it and dragging it into the edit. And so it brings it into the edit window. It always seems to do this to me. Now, this is the most basic way to edit. There are much more complicated ways to edit, which I am not a professional editor. So these are just some of the tricks and things that I have learned. And trust me, they're like super, super easy. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to edit, because edit can get really complicated. So now you've got your video. Okay, this is your video. And of course, this is the beginning of the video, and if you press play, this is magic. It will play the whole video for you. So these are kind of your controls down here. So you've got play, you could go backwards like a rewind, frame to frame. You can go forward frame to frame, and you can go to the end of the frame or the beginning of the frame. So it always has all this space, and I'm not sure why, because like I said, I'm not a professional editor. So what I do is I just go to the end of the video and I hit this little tab because it stops. It'll always stop at the end. This is kind of like where it's cut, where the video is cut, it stops. That's what this does. This right there. I click in and I go to the end, and then I hit delete, and that gets rid of all that extra crap that you don't want. So now your video is actually the right length. So you've got video 1, audio 2, and you've got the time. This is all the time up here. It goes all the way to, I don't know, however many minutes, 6 minutes and 13, or yeah, 6 minutes and 13 seconds or whatever. That's however long my video is. This is the timing. So if you're like, say you're right here in the middle of your video, you're at 1 minute and 59 seconds basically. 1 minute 59 seconds. So what you're gonna want to do, of course, you're gonna want to watch your video. This is magic. And you're also gonna want to insert, maybe say you want to insert an intro. So what you do is you go back to import clips and edits. Oh look, there's an intro right here. Whatever that is. Click on it twice, do a double click. It's gonna import. Sometimes it takes a second. If you have a really slow computer, it's gonna be really hard to edit. I recommend a computer that has a somewhat decent video card to be able to do this. I mean, if you have like a really cheap laptop, good luck. You're not going to be able to edit. So just keep that in mind when you're downloading the software and you're going to try to attempt to edit. If it doesn't work for you and it's all laggy and weird, that just means that your computer's not strong enough. You probably don't have a fast enough processor, and you probably don't have a good enough video card. Alright, so let's move on here. So magical squishies. Here we go. This is the intro right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open it up like this, a separate window. I double clicked on this part. So I double clicked on this guy over here. Brings this window up, and I'm going to insert it. Now I'm gonna insert it directly at the beginning, and it'll insert the video, it'll insert both audios, audio 1 and audio 2. There you go. And it's always a different color with this one, which is kind of nice because you can see what you've inserted, because whatever's a different color is like a clip that you have actually inserted into your main clip. Okay, so we could click out of that. Now you've got your intro. Here you go. You got the intro. And it's, for some reason intros are always a little bit loud on here, so I like to do this. What you do is you wait until you got that little tiny little white arrow, up and down arrow, and then you use your little scroll on your mouse to scroll it down, and this just lowers the volume a little bit at the beginning. So the volume will be lower and it will gradually increase as you get to this line right here. So that just lowers the volume a little bit. And then to edit things out, so say you're going along and you don't like something. What you're gonna do is you want to edit something out. Say, I don't know, maybe, let's see right here. This kind of just goes quiet. You're gonna, and you know, so I want to cut this out because there's like nothing in there. There's like nothing that I want. I want this whole piece out because I'm just sitting here. So I'm gonna do in, and then I'm gonna play it until I want it to start again, until I want the video to start again, and that's where I stop this red line. So the video is gonna stop here. So basically this in puts a marker, and the marker is in the video, it's in both the audios. So it's in all of these 3 lines of audio and video. And then the red line goes to where you basically want it to start. So in other words, it's kind of hard to explain. In other words, from this blue marker that you made to this red line, it's gonna cut all this out in between, all of this out. And the way you cut it out so that there's not just a gap, you have to hit delete. Now if you want a gap in between, you hit remove, and I'm going to show you right now what I mean. So if I hit remove, whoop, look, it's not connected, and you have this big, like, you're going along and whoops, well, there's nothing there, hello. So basically you want these two to be connected, so you don't want to do remove. Let's just do the back button here, which the undo button's right there. So if you undo it, it brings you back, puts this back in. So what you're going to want to do is you don't want to do remove, you want to do delete, because when you do delete, it'll get rid of this completely and it'll attach these two together. So let me show you what I mean. Boom. It removed that middle section, and there you go. And now you can go from here to there. Oh, and my sneeze, so we didn't really cut out everything. So let's try that again.
All right.
I have a cold. I still have a cold, unfortunately. So you're gonna kind of want to, then this is just, like I said, the most basic editing. You can also do frame by frame and figure out where you need to come in, but I'm just kind of making it real simple. So I want the video to start back up right here. So I want this middle piece to be taken out. So we're going to do another delete. So there you go. Now it should start up and my sneeze should be taken out. Yep. There you go. My sneeze was taken out. And now you have this line here, which is fine. That's just where it was cut and put back together. See? And you know, it's kind of hard to tell. Now if you want to move frame to frame, you hit this button right here, and this will take you forward frame by frame. And you can kind of see, if I do it quickly, you can kind of see it moving a little bit. Frame by frame. It'll take us through the cut section, which you won't be able to tell because it's basically pasted together. Oh, you can tell a little bit. Not the best edit. Yeah, you can tell a little bit. There you go. Just a little bit though. When the frames are moving faster, it's harder to tell. And so you can move back frame by frame. And this will help you if you really want to get particular about where you want to cut and cut things out. So anyway, that was just the basic way to cut a segment out of your video that you don't want. How to add music. So to add music, you go to this little, they look like little gears. It's just a settings menu, show settings menu. You click on that. You add tracks. You don't want to add a video track. You want to add an audio track. Click add. It adds another audio track down here. I don't know if you can see it. This guy's in the way. Let me undo it. There you go. We can make it more clear here. Now you've got another audio track. It's called A3. Now you can turn off these tracks. So, and I will show you why that is important to turn off tracks sometimes. I will show you that. So let's add some audio. Where do we want to add audio? You can also grab this little red line and drag it yourself if you want. So we want the audio to come in right when my intro's done. So right at this cut mark right here. You see that cut? Boom, it'll take me to the cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find some music. So I'm going to go import clips or edits from files. I'm going to go to my music. I'm going to go to my Monster Cat music. Actually, let's go to royalty free music. And this is all my royalty free music. And let's do something upbeat. Let's see. Let's do something fun. Bright Wish. It's really cute. That sounds cute anyway. Alright, let's hear what it sounds like. Oh yeah. Really cute. Perfect for this kind of video. And what you're going to do is, now that you have this, let me show you that again, just in case you missed it. When I imported it, it showed up here. I double click on this. It brings up this window with the song in it. What you're going to do is, you have it right where you want here, where this cut is. You don't want it in all of these tracks. You just want it in this bottom track. Track A3. So what you're going to have to do is turn these off. Okay, I'll show you what happens when you don't turn these off. If I just inserted it right now, boom, it'd be like that, and we don't want that because that messes it all up. This is what this did to it. Okay, it did this. Okay, alright, no video because the video's been pushed this way. No, that's no bueno. So let's go back. We did an undo. Now, we want it to just be in this section right here. So you just turn these off. You just click on them. And then leave this A3 on and click insert. Okay, so now it's inserted. Of course, it hasn't been inserted for the whole length of the video. So what I'll do is, because I want it to go the whole length of the video, I'll just hit insert a bunch of times to make it the whole length. Yay! Now we got a little issue here because when I go back this way, it doesn't go to this cut because these aren't turned on. We have to turn them on. Turn them on, go back to this cut, hit in, go all the way to the end of this because it made all this weird space right here that's like nothing. When there's no color in here, it's blank and there's nothing in there. It's just dead air. You're going to want to not remove it, but you're going to want to delete it. Boom. Now it's clean at the end. See? It all goes at the same time. But now we have a problem.
I believe I have
The music's super loud.
coming soon. So
Super loud. So what you're going to do, because it's so loud, you're going to want to... Have you noticed when you hold your mouse like this, it has a black arrow? You don't want that arrow. You want the white up and down arrows. So the white up and down arrows are for the audio. Now you take the scroll button on your mouse and you scroll the audio down, and you see that yellow line moving down? That means the audio is getting less and less loud. It's getting quieter and quieter. This is like lowering the audio. I'm going to do it on all these sections. That one went a little too low. I want to make sure they all kind of match up. And there you go. Pretty simple stuff. Basic audio. There's a lot more complex stuff to this audio, but like I said, I'm just going to teach you guys the basic stuff. So now we can play this, and this is what happens.
this is magical squishies.
And you can hear the music in the background.
With another
And the song is much lower than my voice, which is what you want. You don't want the song to be overpowering to your voice. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear what you're saying. So anyway, you kind of get the point. That's the audio, and it goes all the way to the end. And that's how you insert audio. Pretty easy stuff. If you want to insert other things, you can insert pictures. I'll show you how to do that too. That's easy. It's like the same technique. Basically, you go to your pictures. Let's see, do I have end card? Yes. Go to the end card. Alright, so there's that. And then you want to go all the way to the end of your video. So you can grab it, hold the left click button down and drag it all the way to the end. And then you have to click on this window again so that it's highlighted, because you don't want this window highlighted, it won't work. Highlight this window, and you can see this one's blue highlight, this one's red highlight. Highlight this window, and you want to click insert, and that's the end card. Now this end card doesn't have any music, so you don't have to worry about music or anything. If it had music, it'd show up right here. So basically that's the end. I can make this end card shorter because, well,
Package is coming
this is
soon.
kind of silly, like if it's like this. And then it's forever. So I only want it to go so long. We'll save it there. And to the end, delete. Boom. There you go. Now that's my end card. So I added or inserted a picture, basically an image, and that's the end. And you can click out of that when you're done, and that's it. Basically, that's how you edit a video. It's really easy. This is like the super simplistic version. If you want to add effects, you can do that also. There's an FX button here. I like this dissolve effect, and I'll show you how to do that really quickly. So I want there to be a dissolve at this cut right here between my intro and the start of my video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the cut. So I'm doing in and then out, and then effects and dissolve. Let's try this again. And then I just click out of it because it should be the way that I want it. Clear out the marks, and then there you go. And it just gradually
Back with another
brings you into the next video.
prompt.
So that cut is so basically it takes you from one side of the cut to the other side of the cut gradually, and so it's like a dissolve into the next frame. So it's actually, I love this. I use dissolve all the time. I love it, and we could probably use it before this end card too. So let's try it again at the end card. Let's do a couple frames back and do in, and then a few frames forward into the end card. Hit effects, click dissolve, and let's see what it does. And you know, when you get time, just play around with this stuff, because this is how you learn. You just play around with it, see what it does. And now let's take a look. There you go, and it kind of dissolved into the end card. When you're done with your video and you want to render it, you are going to take this little export edits, clips, or bins. You're going to left click on it and drag it to the window and let go, and it'll open an export edit example. You want to have the format YouTube. Frame rate, usually I like to do 60 frames per second, but for this one we're gonna do 30 frames, and this one's 29.97. I find that it like syncs with the music better when you do it that way. And this is at 720p. Like I said, the Pro version uses 1080p, 1440p, and 2160p, which is, wow, that's crazy. But HD is also 720p, so you can use 27p, and basically it's a smaller window. What you're gonna do then is you're gonna name it. We'll name this Kawaii Land Unboxing, and then you hit start. Now before we hit start, I'm going to show you something. If you go up here and click on this tab, it'll give you details, video, audio, film. It gives you a bunch of settings. This is the import settings right here. So, and the output format, 29.97 FPS, so 720p and 29.97 FPS. And this is the output, the audio. I'm not sure what all this stuff means. My in-camera film speed is 30 FPS, so it's important to know that basically you want to know what your import is. So when you import a video, and you see all this right here, but you want to make sure, you want to always record at 720p at 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second, but always record at 720p, because when you render your videos on Lightworks, you're going to have to do your format in 720p. So make sure that when you import, it's at 720p also. Otherwise, and it's at 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second, because it won't do odd frames. It won't do like, you know, 25 frames per second. It won't work. It will only import 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. And you're going to be exporting at 720p, so you might as well import at 720p also. And while it's rendering, I'm going to show you an example of why you can't do different frame rates. See, all these are 60. Let me show you some other videos where I have weird frame rates. Raw videos. Accidental weird frame rates, not intentional, but my mistakes. If I can even find any. There's got to be some random. Maybe not. Hey, maybe I got good at this. Okay, here's one. See, I know I'm not that great. Oh, these are, yeah, these have to be. See these videos that are kind of grayed out? These videos do not match the format that Lightworks allows. Lightworks wants to see a format of 1280 by 720, and they want to see 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. They don't want to see some odd, weird 25 frames per second. And so this is what it looks like when it's done rendering. Task log, and it tells you what format it is. YouTube format, HD 720p, and this is the folder that it went into. And then there you go. You're all done. We can click on this, and it'll bring it up. So there you go. Now you have the video, Kawaii Land unboxing it. You can also decide where you want it to import. So let's click out of this. So the destination, you want to make sure you put it in a folder that you want it to go in for the export destination. And there you go. It's easy as that. So there you have it. That is very, very basic editing using Lightworks. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any more questions, or any questions for that matter, just shoot me some questions in the comments, and I'll be sure that I try and answer them all. I hope this helps you out. Lightworks is completely free. You can get the Pro version. The Pro version allows you to edit in a higher resolution. The free version lets you edit in 1280 by 720p, which is high definition already. But the Pro version lets you do it in 1080p. So, you know, if you want to purchase the Pro, you can. I think the free version works perfectly fine. That's what I use it for my videos, and all my videos are in HD. I use 720p, so it works out great. Well, anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Bye!